She ran out of the house, called me just hysterical. We took a tote. I was under the bed with a broom trying to get it out.
At the beginning of this year, I was kicking Dave's butt. Now he's kicking my butt.
This was a long time ago when I'm still not very smart.
Oh, Dave.
Get those extensions on your gutters.
They're cheap.
That is the simplest thing you can do.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Closing Time with Dave and Joelle. We are on episode 11.
We're cruising right along now.
11sies.
Yeah.
Do you know what that's from?
I have no idea. I'm like, what
Lord of the Rings? 11sies?
I've watched Lord of the Rings. I just not as much as you. You know, with our last episode, you were just calling me a nerd.
That was a nerd moment.
Yeah. Well, I am a nerd, but you have your moments as well.
I do.
Yeah.
We're so excited to be back. We are on our last step in the home buying process.
That's awesome.
We are going to go through. So,
and you would think it's the easiest step, but there's a lot of things to it. So the last step is closing.
Closing day, you get the keys. The house
you
is
get the keys.
yours.
Yep. So what do you got to do before you close?
So this is the tough part, I tell people, because you get through all of the other steps that we've gone through. You get through the inspections and negotiations, and then you sit and wait.
Yep.
And then you sit and wait for however long that time is until day or two before closing. And then we do what we call the final walkthrough.
Mm-hmm.
So final walkthrough, we are just buzzing through the house one more time before it is officially yours, before you sign the papers. We're looking for some specific things. What do you keep your eye out for?
So first of all, if we called anything on inspections, we have to ensure that those things were completed. And then what I like to tell people is we're going to say, hey, they moved their furniture out of the house. Hopefully they didn't put an elbow through a wall. And normally we expect the house to be clean, the yard to be mowed, that all of their junk is out of there, or I shouldn't say junk, but stuff is out of there, that they haven't left anything behind. I know there's some realtors out there that don't do a final walkthrough. I couldn't imagine not doing a final walkthrough with clients.
Have you ever had something go wrong during the final walkthrough?
More than I'd like to admit. You got to work through it, but that's why I always try to do ours 2 days before, if it works out that way, because I've been in homes where there's just trash and garbage everywhere, and you have to call the selling agent and just get tough with them and be like, hey, we're not going to close if their stuff is not out of here. And some people will overlook it because they're so excited to buy a new home, but you got to make sure your I's are dotted, your T's are crossed type stuff.
Yeah, I like to tell my sellers just almost like the golden rule, like do unto others.
Exactly.
You know, if you're going to sell your house, if you were buying a house and you left it in that condition of your sold house, would you be happy? And if the answer is no, then I think that you should do some things.
Right.
I'm not saying you have to hire a professional cleaner as the seller. I like to suggest asking for that for my buyers, just to have it professionally cleaned, especially if they're kids, pets, whatever it is. Have it cleaned before you come in. It's just an ease thing. You feel good about moving in.
I notice with a lot of my clients, they still get the house cleaned after they move in. But I mean, at least if you're selling your home, give it a good scrub. Make it look nice in there. Just the golden rule, just like you said.
Yeah, and just pick up your crap. Nobody wants your dumb self-portrait that you painted in the 4th grade hanging on the wall.
What are some of the things that you expect to be left at the house?
That's a really good question. Well, a lot of that depends on personal property. So washer, dryer, was that marked as staying? If there's a play set, whatever was marked as staying, that's another checklist. So the inspection and then also personal property, what was being said was left and does it match? Is that actually here?
And then some other little things that are acceptable to be left. If they have old paint that will match the walls, screens for windows for sure, maybe old trim or an extra bag of shingles for the house. That stuff is okay.
Yeah. Carpet,
But
flooring.
we don't want
a lot.
your Beanie Babies or whatever. I don't know why that jumped in my head, but
Hey, I'll take your Beanie Babies. They'll sell for a lot of money.
do they? I don't know.
There are wow, this is such a random tangent. This is what happens though.
I know, and I have one right as soon as you're
We
done.
get off. My grandma used to collect Beanie Babies,
Okay.
and long before she passed away, she ended up getting rid of all of them. I don't know if she just donated them to Goodwill or what, but she had this special collection that was kind of like an opaque rainbow. Those sell for like $800 now. Grandma just dumped them to Goodwill, and we were all like, "Man, we could have been rich."
I have this older gentleman selling his house. He collected whiskey decanters. Do you know what those are?
Oh, yeah.
Like tons of them.
Huh.
And I looked a couple up online. I'm like, probably 200 of them. And they were all going for like 20, 25 bucks. And there were a couple like Elvis ones that would go for 200. I bought his whole lot for 2,000 thinking, "Oh, this is going to be a fun good." Amy just shakes her head at me all the time on this one. Yeah, guess how many I've sold? And I've tried to sell a few of them.
How many?
One.
For how much?
Well, I gave away one and I sold the other one for $5 and now I'm to the point where I'm about ready to throw them away.
Have you spent 2,000 on them?
I
Oh, Dave.
this was a long time ago when I wasn't well, I'm still not very smart, but just like, "Oh, this is gonna be a great idea. I'm gonna make a couple grand." Yeah, that's not the case.
So we don't want your old collectibles left in the house.
No, no, and I won't buy them anymore.
I always say, like, for new people moving in, expect like some random things to be left. That's not out of pocket. It happens a lot, but if it's excessive, then it becomes a problem.
Absolutely.
The other thing that I always check for during final walkthroughs is toilets flush, sinks all turn on.
Mhm.
Because I have had that happen where one toilet did not flush and it flushed, several weeks ago when we did the inspection. So just checking that the house is in the condition you agreed to
Agreed.
before you sign the papers, and then you are SOL.
Yep. Then you own the home. It's your problem now.
Yep. So, what we also do during final walkthrough is kind of just prep our people to what to expect during closing. So, I always tell people it's really easy. Closing is very simple. It's all documents that you have seen before
Mhm.
outside of some South Dakota housing laws.
Right.
So, things like, hey, you're not allowed to have exotic animals. You're not
Cook
allowed
meth.
to mass produce drugs, that sort of stuff. So those will be new documents, but you go in, you sign the papers, you get the keys, you're done.
Mhm. And your lender, as long as you have a mortgage, has went through most of those papers with you already.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, here's something you get 2 weeks before closing. Well, Dave, if let's just say, Joelle, you're selling your home and you're buying the next home, correct?
Mm.
Well, you close back to back the same day because you need the funds from your sell in order to buy. Well, how am I going to move? Have you ran into that with clients?
Oh yeah. And it is hard and it varies person to person because you have to be completely out of the house you are selling by the time you go to closing, but you're not yet closed on the house you are buying. So where do you put your stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you live? I have had a lot of different scenarios that
Right.
people will do. Sometimes they will pack up everything in one of those pods and park it at the new house or at the old house and just letting the buyers or sellers of the other one know, hey, the pod is going to be moved right after close,
Yep.
whatever it is. We have also had, I love it when this works out. If the house that you are buying, you can store your stuff in the garage.
Yep.
That is like ideal situation.
And when that happens, you do have to sign a liability form because let's just say your new house, when it's still owned by the previous owner, burns down that night. They're not liable for your stuff in the garage.
Yes. So making sure that you have that documentation is
Mhm.
really important.
And sometimes the sellers that like don't think that as we talk about this that that's always an option because they may have all of their stuff in the garage. So yeah, so storage sheds, U-Hauls, pods, semis, whatever. Sometimes it just gotta get
Family
creative.
members.
Family members. Last time me and Amy moved, my parents, all of our stuff ended up in their garage. It was brutal.
It was Did you
And
end up in the garage?
yes, well, we also had to live with my parents for 2 months, which that's a whole nother story that I'm not getting into right now.
But you made it work.
We made it work.
I
We had to
mean,
figure it out.
it's a short-term thing, and that's is not always enjoyable, but the end result is that you are getting a house that you are excited about, you wanna move into.
Yep,
You have to be creative a little bit. We're gonna hopefully give you some ideas of options, but at the end of the day, you have to make it work for your family.
yep.
I've seen people live in short-term rentals for a
Mhm,
couple of months during that transition.
yep.
But if your house purchase relies on you selling,
It gets interesting.
gets interesting.
Yep.
It's
Um,
it's hard, but
yeah,
we do it
so
all the time.
but then when you go to the title company, like we talked, you sign all those papers and congratulations, here's your keys, your garage door openers, everything. Time to get moving. I personally, I do follow up with my clients usually 1 to 2 weeks after we close,
Mm.
then about 2 to 3 months after we close, just to check in, see how things are going and things of that nature.
Yep, and then we're pretty good about of course, we try to follow up that 2 weeks, a couple months, and then it's like an every year we're touching base, we're making sure
Try to.
that yeah, that how are things going? Happy home anniversary.
Mhm.
How's it been? And then hopefully someday when they decide they sell, they're calling you again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all about staying connected, and
Yeah,
I
and
try to do that the best we can. It's not always easy, and I mean, I've sold about 1,500 homes in my career. It's
yeah,
not always easy to touch base with all of those people, but
yeah.
we do our best.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. And inviting them to things like our client appreciation event that we just had.
Which went awesome.
It was so
I
fun.
think next year will be better, so if you guys are listening, why don't you tell us about the event?
So it was in the Hague parking lot. We had food trucks, we had activities for the kids like balloons and some hair tinsel. We had Todd Caselli playing live music,
Mhm.
beanbag boards, tons of giveaways. We had a
And
lot of
we
giveaways.
did we did get fortunate. The weather was perfect.
Oh, we were so
We're
lucky.
in the middle of a heat wave right now, but for some reason that night the stars aligned and it was perfect for our appreciation event. I'm so thankful to all of my past clients and the team's clients that showed up because I was a little nervous going into it for the fact that oh, we spend all this money, hopefully some people come, and it went great.
And summertime is hard. People are busy. We have
Yeah,
a lot going
absolutely.
on. So it really does mean the world to us for our past clients to come out. We just love to see you, touch base with you, have a good time with the family, get
Yep,
to meet other people. It was so much fun. We had a great turnout.
it
No
was.
less.
It was great.
Yes. So let's talk about the homes that we have to talk
All right.
through.
All
So we've
right.
got 3 of Dave's listings. Dave has listings coming out of his ears right now.
I will say these 3 listings we're gonna show you is from Humboldt to Salem.
Yes.
So you'll do 2 of them, and I'll do the middle one if that works.
Yeah, absolutely. So this first house, it is a stunning home. I just got to do an open house on this 25467 455th in Montrose. It's priced at 975. It's a 5 bed, 5 bath, just under 3,500 square feet. So it's a big house and it sits on 8 acres. So tons of land here.
Additionally, this sits right on the Humboldt Montrose property line or, like,
Mm,
line.
yeah.
Um, so some addresses we find says it's a Humboldt address, some say it's a Montrose address, but then it's also got 2 humongous horse barns
Yeah.
where you can, like, ride inside the sheds. So, very cool
Yeah,
property.
beautiful property. Definitely worth checking out. And it's really new. So obviously in great shape.
So Joelle's never been to this home. Um, if you want to be in the middle of nowhere, it's technically has a Salem address, but it's in a small town. Have you ever heard of Unityville, South Dakota?
Mm-mm. No.
Yes. This home is actually located in Unityville.
Okay.
That's what they call the area. Um, but if you want peace and quiet, middle of nowhere, this is the home for you. So this would be about 10 miles north of Salem and then another 2 miles west. I think there's one home across the street. How it got the name
Yeah.
Unityville is beyond me. Um, the home is very cute. You've got how many acres did we say? I'm just having a brain fart.
This is just under 5
Just
acres.
under 5 acres. Um, Great place. You got to go check this one out if you want to be off the grid, is what I like to say.
A lot of people want to be off the grid, so
Yes.
this is
Yep.
so fun, so cool. And last but not least, we have 403 Meadowlark Lane in Montrose as well. This one we just did a price drop on. Now it is down to 420,000. 5-bed, 2-bath, 3,000 square feet, and a 4-stall garage.
Yes.
So this has a big space. This sits on about half an acre, so there is quite a bit of space in between the neighbors. It's also on a cul-de-sac,
Mhm.
which is really nice. And the school bus stops right at the end of the cul-de-sac.
Yes,
So
it does.
a really awesome
And I know
family.
you're only seeing 3-stall garage here. There's also a detached garage in the backyard.
Yes, as well as
So,
a shed. So a really, really cute house in a
mhm.
great neighborhood. Has 3 beds on 1 level. So and an
Yes.
awesome kitchen.
Yeah, the kitchen is great. Nice and
Fantastic
open.
home. So we have tons of listings coming as a team, and it's gonna be a really good fall,
Yeah.
I
The
think.
CMAs have been the CMAs is a certified market analysis. Is that what we call CMA? I just call it market analysis. Um,
Comparative.
Comparative, yes. I don't know why certified came into my head. Comparative market analysis, but I have them coming out my ears right now. So there's going to be a lot of listings coming here shortly. If you're looking in the Hartford area, I know personally of 3 to 4 new ones I have just in Hartford alone. So stay on the lookout, I guess.
Yeah. So on our next episode with just Dave and I, we are going to be doing an end of summer market recap. So just talking through how the summer has looked, what we can expect going into the fall. What does that mean for you guys as buyers or sellers? So that will be really fun for us to just recap. It's been a good first half of the year.
It is. It's only, we're just a little over half the year in. So the second half, we're going to go out
Yeah.
with a bang.
Yeah, I will say the beginning of this year, I was kicking Dave's butt. Now he's kicking my butt.
Hey, it's all right. It's all right. I had a slow start this year. I don't know what it was, but
It's ebb and flow, it comes and goes.
it is. And just when you think you're down, it just comes right back up.
One of us gets busy, the other one slows down, and then vice versa.
Oh, it works well. Then we
out.
can help each other out.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. So,
All right, so I want to talk about something that has been happening a lot if you live in the area. We've had just a stupid amount of crazy storms.
we have.
And so, as realtors, we are also your go to after you close on your house. This is not a you sign, you get the keys, we're done, we're never talking to you again. So, I get asked a lot of times from various people, who do you know for fence? Who do you know for landscaping? Whatever it is. And we're really good resources.
Yep.
That especially peaks right after we have crazy storms.
It does.
So, what are some things that we can do help prepare people for storms like
I'm going
we
to
have?
tell you the most cheapest, simplest, easiest thing you can do to at least mitigate the chance of water going in your basement.
Mm.
Because when we get those heavy, heavy rains, it just sometimes happens. The downspouts that come off your gutters that are this long will make the world of difference, because if it's coming down your gutter and going straight into the corner, all of that water is going right next to your foundation. And when there gets to be too much pressure, that's when your foundation starts to shift, or
Mhm.
that's when it finds its way through, because water has to find a place to go. Whereas if you put the extension on, it's not going next to your foundation, it's going out in the yard. And so many people do not realize that. It's like, go to Menards or go to Home Depot, go to Lowe's, and spend $20, $30, whatever the case may be, and get those extensions on your gutters.
They're cheap.
Yes.
They're really cheap.
That is the simplest thing you can do.
Yeah.
The other thing that also helps big time, if you have egress windows, again, go to one of those hardware stores and just get those plastic covers that go
Mhm.
over the top, because then you're keeping water out of the window well. because, and I think you just ran into this not too long ago,
Mhm.
um, the water will fill up in that window well and then press against the window, and it will find its way through a window, especially.
Yeah. Well, again, water has to find somewhere to go.
Right.
And so it really does try to. Now, I will say there are windows that are a little bit tougher to cover. Ours are one of those. We did specialty order, I guess, customize them. Our window wells are like 6 feet long.
Mhm.
And so we did have to special order those. But having those covers on, you're going to prevent water. You're also going to prevent animals like bats.
You and your bats.
Me
I
and my
I hope I
bats.
haven't told this story on our show before, but the house we currently live in, probably 2 weeks before that we moved in,
Mm.
the widow lived there, and she called me just so scared. She goes, "Dave, you gotta come over, you gotta come over." So, we have drain tile that goes around our house, right? Well, in one of the window wells, the drain tile comes up, and there's a cap that's supposed to go on. Well, that cap somehow fell off when she was
Mhm.
living there. A muskrat
Oh.
crawled up in there, went all the way through the drain tile, up through the sump hole, and then up her stairs. She had been gone for a week. She got home, all of her plants had been chewed up, and then she seen it in her bedroom, and she ran out of the house, called me just hysterical.
Oh my gosh.
And so me and 3 friends, Adam DeYoung and Annie Betcher, went over there. Annie's a farm girl, and, Adam, as soon as he seen the muskrat, went flying out the house. And they're gonna appreciate this. I'm gonna let them both know they have to watch episode 11. And then I was a little nervous about it. Annie didn't care. We took a tote, and I was under the bed with a broom trying to get it out, and Annie trapped it and put it in the tote, and we got out of the house.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yes. But
Wow.
Adam did go screaming out of the house, so
So, cover those drains, cover the windows.
yeah, it all makes a difference. But
S
that muskrat story was insane.
That is wild. I've heard of a lot of things coming in people's houses, never a muskrat.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yep.
So, this past weekend when we had this big storm, one thing that we saw throughout our neighborhood is trampolines just everywhere, demolished. Our neighbors, we were watching out our back patio door, and our neighbors have a trampoline, and it was anchored in 2 different spots, and it literally I just watched it fold like a taco, just went in half, and it stayed put. Luckily, I was so nervous, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, our trampoline is going to just fly into our house, break a window or something." It stayed where it was because they had it anchored, but it was just folded in half.
I think all the wind gets underneath that big area, and
Oh, yeah.
that's one thing that's always the first to go are the trampolines.
Our neighbor that we share a backyard with had 3 trampolines in their backyard that were just ripped apart.
We've never had a trampoline when the kids were growing up, but I have seen people that, like, put a hole in the ground and then put the
Mm.
trampoline down in the hole, and
Yeah,
that way if you fall off too, you don't get hurt as bad.
yeah. Or, just put a net on your trampoline.
Yeah, that's true too.
So, another thing that I would say how to best prepare for storms is also to get up on your roof, make sure your gutters are cleaned out.
I do that once a year.
Yes. So we just did that, cleaned out all of our gutters, made sure that the water is not just sitting in there because,
Mhm.
again, it's going to find somewhere to go. If it's
Yep.
not going down and away from the house, it's going to just drip and it's going to drip.
It's gonna overflow, and it's going in that same corner right next to your foundation.
Yep. Or in a window well. I mean, it's finding the worst possible place.
Yep.
It will go in there. So just some small things that you can do during this summertime to help prepare for some
Absolutely.
storms.
And as I look at the time, we're already on 25 minutes.
Every time that we record, we say this all the time too, but it just goes by so
It
fast.
does. It's fun.
We just like to yap.
We do. We do. Hopefully you guys like to listen to us yap.
Come into the office someday and we'll just be there yapping.
Yep.
No,
Yeah.
we do a lot of work, but this is our fun yap time. We talk about some cool things. We are now done with the entire buying process. Crazy.
So I would say after we do the market statistics next time, we go through the selling process. I think that is probably what we're going to do. More
Yep.
to come on that.
Yes.
Our next episode, we're gonna have Brent Langston on. He's brand new, or not brand new. He's been to the team for a year. He's our newest agent, so we're really excited to have him on.
Yes.
Um, and other than that, Joelle, you got any closing comments?
We
Anything?
don't have anything crazy to do today. So no like
Oh, no challenges.
no weird sour candies or super
I've got a
hot
couple new ones that
candies.
are coming. You
Stay
just
tuned.
wait.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Today was a good week off for that.
Yes. Yes. And so just make it a great week. Thanks for joining us today. And as always, thanks and make it a great day.